Hi everyone, in today's video I am going to discuss what is race condition, why does it happen, and how to fix it in Java code. So in this video I will discuss what is race condition. So we will understand race condition with the help of code example where race conditions are not a concern in Java code and different ways to prevent race condition in Java code. So let me take an example to explain the race condition first and then we will see its definition. What is race condition? To explain this, let me take an example of a counter class. So it's a simple class which has two methods. One is to increment the value of count and another one is to return the value of count. Let me call this increment method with a single thread. So let me run this code and see the output is 1000, which is correct because we are calling this method 1000 times. So you can see we are calling this increment method 1000 times. Let me run this code with multiple threads. So I have already created two threads. Let me create one more thread. So let me create thread 3 and let me start this thread and let me also call this method join, which will finish its execution before calling this get count method. So what output we are expecting? Definitely 3000. So let me run this code. So this time it is 3000, but let me run it again. So now 2407, 2513, then this time 3000. So now you see we are getting different output every time, and this is the race condition. So basically when multiple threads trying to access and modify a shared resource, so basically this is the shared resource, this count. So when multiple thread trying to access and modify a shared resource without proper synchronization if we don't have proper synchronization, then it leads to unpredictable behavior, which we have seen. We have seen the code example. Now you can easily relate this statement. So basically race condition simply means when multiple threads access a shared resource without proper synchronization, which leads to unpredictable behavior, which we have already seen in our code. So let me spend some more time to explain this concept thoroughly. So now let's go back to our counter class. When multiple threads call this increment method, why we have seen unpredictable result. To explain this, let's imagine two threads call this increment method simultaneously and trying to increment the counter at the same time. So here is the problem. So what happened when two threads call increment method simultaneously? So both the threads see the initial value, which is 0. So they read the initial value 0, right? And both threads add 1 and set the value back, right? So the final result is 1 instead of expected 2. So one increment is lost, right? So if you see this increment operation are not atomic. So at the CPU level, it's a 3-step operation. First, it read the current value of count, then it add it increment, it add 1 to the current value, and then it write the updated value back, right? So when multiple thread run at the same time without coordination, so they clash during these steps, right? So someone read the current value of count and it's also incremented, but the thread has not written the value yet. At the same time, if another thread read the value of count, so there is a mismatch, right? And that clash is called race condition. And why this happen? Because threads are racing against each other. They don't wait for one to finish before the next starts. I hope you understood the concept of a race condition. So let's move to the next section where race conditions are not a concern in Java code. So if you see this code, there is only one method add which take which takes two local parameter a and b and return their sum. So there is no shared variable or shared state between threads. So these are method level variables. So multiple threads calling add method. So multiple thread calling this method is using its own copy of a and b. So there is nothing they can interfere with. Whereas counter class, which we have seen, has a shared variable count, and multiple threads, when called the increment method, can access and modify the value of count at the same time. How to prevent race condition? So there are multiple ways. The simplest way is to use the synchronize keyword. So when we use the synchronize keyword, it makes sure only one thread enter this increment block and execute this statement count plus plus, right? This is called synchronization. So when multiple threads call this method simultaneously, only one thread at a time acquire the lock, right? Then perform this operation and then release the lock. Then the next waiting thread will acquire the lock, perform the count plus plus, then release the lock, right? So this process will keep repeating, right? But the crux is, the once you use this keyword, it makes sure only one thread at a time can enter this block and execute this count plus plus, right? So let's write a code and see, after using synchronized keyword, do we get unpredictable result or do we get the result which we are expecting? So now I have modified the this code and use this synchronize keyword, right? And after using the synchronize keyword, let me call this increment method with multiple threads. So here I am using 3 threads and I am expecting the output would be 3000. So let me run this code and see 3000. Let me run it again. 3000, 3000. Now we are expecting 3000 and the output we are getting is 3000, right? So after using this synchronized block, we are preventing the race condition which we are seeing earlier, right? The second way is to use ReentrantLock, which works similar to synchronized keyword, but it gives you more control, which which I will explain in separate video. So in case of ReentrantLock, we explicitly define which critical section needs to be protected. For example, in case of synchronized block, the whole the thread will acquire a lock on the whole method. But in case of ReentrantLock, so you can explicitly define that this statement needs to be protected. This statement is the critical section. So you can define the lock and unlock part, right? So thread need to acquire the lock before executing this statement, and after that they will release the lock, right? So let's see its demo. So to save some time, I have already modified the code. I have created the instance of ReentrantLock, and then first I'll call the I have called the lock method, which so any thread which needs to execute this count plus plus, first they will acquire the lock, then they will execute this statement, and then they will release the lock, right? So when multiple thread call this method, anyone can get the lock, then they execute this statement, then they release the lock, and the next waiting thread will do the same thing, acquire the lock, execute, and then release the lock. So let me run this code. So let me run it, and now you can see the consistent result every time, no matter how many times you run this execute, no matter how many times you execute this main method. So we have used 3 threads, and this is the output we are expecting, right? For simple use cases, we can also use atomic integer. So in case of atomic integer, we don't need a lock, right? Because it uses low level CPU instruction to safely update the value without blocking, right? So this increment is a three-step process: read, modify, and write, right? So this read, modify, write in case of atomic integer, this read, modify, write happens in one step without any thread interference, right? So you can see I can change this the data type from integer to atomic integer, and I call their method increment and get. So it's a atomic increment, right? And similarly, when we are returning the value, I call their get method, which is again atomic read, right? So in both the cases, there is no thread interference. Only one thread execute the increment or the get atomically, right? To save some time, again I have modified the code offline, and now let's run this code. Let's call this increment method with multiple threads, and let's see the result. And when I executed the main method, I can see the output is 3000. Let me run it multiple times, and you can see the output is 3000, and this is what we are expecting. So if you love the explanation of race condition and how to prevent race condition using various approaches, please like this video and share with your friends. It takes a lot of effort to make a video, right? So let's conclude what we have learned in this video. So basically, race condition occur when multiple threads access shared data unsafely, right? So it leads to inconsistent or incorrect result. And how we can prevent the race condition? We can prevent race condition by using synchronized keyword, ReentrantLock, or for simple use cases, we can also use atomic variables, right? So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like this video and share with your friends.